guys, let's make a video on painting plastic, especially really old, back in the day, really floppy garbage. We want our paint to stick to that, and yeah, there's just a few extra steps, so won't be bad. We'll walk you through it. Won't need anything special. Again, just comment, and well, actually adhesion promoter, you're gonna need some of that. Should use a flex additive, but I don't have any, so we're gonna just hope for the best, pretty much. Start with the first step here. 220 grit, I'm gonna use that because they rolled primer on here. Ideally, if you have a piece of plastic and the paint's still good on it, go right to 400 grit, and you do not want to burn through that paint at all. You want no bare plastic showing, because it creates fur. Well, I guess is the best way to explain it. But this has that roll-on primer. I don't have a choice. We're going to take this all the way down to bare plastic, so I figured what an excellent opportunity to walk through that a little bit. We could talk about the little hairs that'll stand up and how to get rid of them. Alright, let's check it out. Let's get into it a little bit. So, some of this stuff actually stuck pretty good. I think it's probably because it ended up on old paint. But we're feathered out pretty good. I trust it's not going to flake off anymore. But you can see all the bare plastic. It's kind of like when we did the fiberglass panels up there on the top rear. When you start seeing this stuff, you are in primer territory. But fiberglass, we can get away with it. Metal, if we're lucky. Plastic, nope. Nope, you ain't getting away with it. So we do have to do things correctly. We're right back to it. Comet. Red Scotch-Brite, bucket of water, and scrub everything down real good 3 times. I always just do 3. That way it's really, really clean. Just do your 3 passes, change your water each pass, change your Scotch-Brite each pass, and yeah, you'll have it clean. Everything will stick to it at that point. All right, she's all prepped. And it's Tuesday, so my beer just showed up. What are we drinking today? It's, looks like Hurricane. All right. All right, let's take a look at those results. I think you'll like them. I mean, that is clean. You saw how it was yellow. I mean, pretty obviously, paint's gonna stick. A lot of primer. That's what we're gonna work on next. And you could do, your Trans Am 70s, 80s front bumpers, rear bumpers, same way. If you want, and you're really worried about it, DuPont does make a product that is similar to Comet. Might work better if you're super nervous. Maybe you're painting it for a customer. You might want to check into it. There's all sorts of plastic prep stuff out there, so I just use Comet and I haven't had any bad luck yet. So, but like I said, if you're really worried. All right, we got our primer mixing up. This is hung up, so we got to do the same stuff as always. We got to prep sol wipe it, wet rag, dry rag. Simple, normal process. Got the primer mixing up. We're real fancy around here. So, if you have a gallon can of something and you can get a hold of a mix top, well, there you go. That's a good method. Thanks again, guys, for tuning into Boozin' Auto Body on YouTube. So, just want to thank everybody. This channel is doing a lot better than I ever thought it would. So, I'll just keep it up. If you guys are watching, I'll keep making the videos. So, I got a good little product coming up here real quick, so stay tuned. It's how we're gonna get the primer to stick to this disgusting plastic that everything falls off of. It's all final wipe. Don't forget your tack rag step, even on these small parts. It's well worth it. All right, here's the stuff I wanted to show you guys. Bulldog adhesion promoter. I wonder if there's a, how's that gonna show up? Is that gonna be backwards? All right, whatever, you can see. You can get that at any auto parts, well, store that sells paint. Clean Strip makes it, maybe just get it on Amazon, whatever. One thing you're gonna hate though is the price. It's this little can's $50, but I'll tell you what, I've had this can for going on, when did I paint my Accord? 6 years ago? So this can's been going longer than that. All right, so what you're gonna do is just fog your first coat on. Keep a good distance. You just wanna get a little, like the clear coat we talked about. This is your spray glue. Don't run this stuff. Try as hard as you can not to. It's pretty much as simple as that. So it says, just give it 2 or 3 coats, I can't remember. Just wait a couple minutes in between each one. Let's just say 3. Screw it, we'll do 3. You go a little wetter on the next one. Actually, just don't. Just keep fogging it on there. This is, it's biting into the plastic, it's softening it, or whatever the hell it's doing. But if you get it completely covered with the stuff, your primer is gonna stick, your paint's gonna stick, everything's gonna stick. Talk about the primer I like to use. This is a well-known brand that I always bought their body filler, and they just came out with primer filler. So that's kind of nice. U-Paul. If you can, golly, I hope you guys have a good paint store wherever you are. I got a good one over here that sells all sorts of stuff. I mean, they're not just brand loyal. They do sell a lot of DuPont, no PPG, but they also carry a lot of this kind of stuff, different brands. Hopefully you have a store like that around, or maybe you could just look this stuff up online, but this is a pretty inexpensive. I accidentally bought white, so we have to guide coat. Thought you caught me on rattle can, but there's no ball in this, so nice try. We're gonna use today a different Black Widow that I have compared to my paint gun. It is the 1.7 tip, and that's what I like to use for primer. Lays it flat. I mean, it's as worth it to spend the money on a primer gun so you have to sand less as it is to buy a really nice paint gun so you have a nice shiny paint job. So, I mean, frankly, I hate sanding, and even though I continuously do it, I'd prefer to do less. So, nice 1.7. This is like their brand new one, and it's been working out great. I don't have to thin the primer so bad. We can get it on there real thick. But yeah, 1.7 tip, that's gonna be awesome for primer. Actually, I mentioned it earlier, Flex Additive. It is a product you can buy to add to your paint. So you mix up your paint the way the instructions say. And if I remember this right, you dump X amount of your Flex Additive in that, and it turns your paint into like rubbery stuff. This part, when it's bolted on, it's pretty stiff, so I'm not gonna worry about it too bad. Unless, you know, I'm loading in a 2x4 and it boop. But I think even then it's probably gonna stick. So something to bear in mind. You're painting a really nice car. Let's say you got that 77 Trans Am of your dreams. Those front and rear bumpers. Maybe it's a good idea because rock chips or any little bumps in that, you want the paint to have that Flex Additive. So just if you're doing something really nice, this is, I think you only see this much of the panel because the bumper covers it. And when the tailgate's closed, you don't see it at all. So, well, actually, I guess you do, but you can see it right here. See how fast this thing has a light. Maybe how to turn it on. see how fast it's, I know it looks like a run. That's not a run, but that is the center drying out faster than everywhere else. This is what would happen if you painted over it. That's what you'd be looking at. And it's not something you want to mess with. So get a good 2-3 coats of primer on there. And you won't have to imagine what that would look like in your paint job. So yeah, it's worth it. Don't mess around with this stuff. Ran out of primer, and I completely failed to mention to you guys something really important for saving money. This is our U-POL primer, you know, hardener, and we got our U-POL primer down there. Anyways, I use a decent amount of Nason paint. The full base reducer will reduce your primer just fine. Don't think you have to buy a bunch of products for every little product. This will do. I do all my paint with it, even when it's not Nason paint. Like my old friend always said, it's always, all this crap is duff. I mean, it's just universal to an extent, but I have never run into a problem using a Nason full base reducer in any primer. And I do the same stuff, 4-to-1 hardeners. Whoops. Just, guys, we could do this a lot cheaper. We don't have to spend a fortune. If you have some hardener laying around, and it's urethane hardener, and you got urethane paint and reducer, maybe the brands don't line up. I think you get where I'm going. You are cutting your primer. Let's point that up a little bit. Look like I don't have a hair. When you are cutting your primer, just do it a little bit. Don't make water. You would still want it good and thick. Just make it, you know, loose enough it'll get through your gun. So usually it's just a little. We're gonna do a little couple blobs there. I didn't mix up a lot in this batch. The trick here is going to definitely be get enough material on here that when you're sanding, you don't want to see bare plastic, or you're starting over, or you're living with a really weird kind of furry-edged halo dry spot. Just be real careful. Don't sand through this stuff. It's very important. Slow down the video. Feel free to comment and I'll respond. I'm here for you. There's a lot of little stuff. This is probably, what is it? This is my second video spraying paint. I didn't want to get into a lot of the technical stuff. Let's just keep you guys, I don't want to overwhelm you. The next job coming in here is that cab that I'm going to paint. As soon as this tailgate is put on, my skirvin and this and all the other crap, we'll get the whole thing together. And I got 3 colors going on the truck cab. We're gonna paint the dash first, and there I think I'll make a video where we can get into adjusting your paint gun. You know, some of these finer details, because yeah, we missed a lot of instructional information for spraying, and that's fine. It's coming. This isn't appropriate, and doing a jam isn't appropriate for that kind of learning, I don't think. But if you only see this video and you're learning how to paint plastic, I think all the information is here. So, but yeah, thanks for following the Body Guy Drinker on YouTube.